Greetings from Siberia. A few days ago, a good friend of mine asked me to do a review of my Russian sauna, Russian bathhouse thing. So today I decided to, as the Russians say, combine the pleasant with the useful and make a video for my English YouTube channel about my banya, since I haven't made a video for my English YouTube channel in many years. Many moons have passed since I've made a video for my English YouTube channel. So today I thought I'd quickly make this video about our bathhouse. So when the Americans do a get a piece of land and, do the rural back to the land thing like we did back in 2016 here in Russia, a lot of times they'll make a garage with a second story apartment. And Russians will a lot of times make a banya and either live in the banya, in the bathhouse for a while, or make a second story apartment. So we did the latter. This is one of the first buildings that we built on the territory. And as you see, the downstairs is bathhouse and the upstairs has an upstairs, and that's an apartment. It's 20 feet by 20 feet, just under 20 by 20, 6 meters by 6 meters exterior dimensions. So that's 400 square feet for the bathhouse and 400 square feet for the upstairs apartment. And the Volka family, Andrei and Oля, with their children, are living there and have been living there since we moved in here and since they got married. So that's been a really cool place for them. This year we're actually building them their own house, have been for the last year. Hopefully we'll finish it this year and they'll be able to move in to their own house, a little bit larger accommodations than 400 square feet. But for me, this banya is about the ideal size. It's about perfect. I really, really don't have much to say other than I'm very happy with the size. But we'll show you what that looks like inside. So before I go in, I just wanted to show this. That's our creek down there. There's a spring kind of way up that direction where you can kind of see where the line, that's an underground pipe that goes across, but then the spring is actually up there somewhere direction. That's where we get our water for the house. We pump the water for the banya, for the bathhouse, right here at the creek. And so during the springtime, when there's rain or when there's runoff or snow, the water can get murky. And I'm pointing that out for two things here. You'll see the first reason when we go into the bathhouse, but the second reason I'm showing this is a perfect spot to make like a pond or something like that. And I want to do that eventually so that you can come out of the bathhouse and jump into the water. But we put the banya up on the side hill like that. Hi, Kirsten. So that to keep it out of the floodplain, because I've seen too many situations where people put a building right next to the creek and then it gets flooded. This creek can go up and down during the spring runoff, so I put it quite a ways up. Now if I had it to redo, I'd probably put it right there where that birch tree is, and that means we could be right next to our pond when we make a little pond for jumping into after you get all hot from the banya. But unfortunately, I made the decision to put it way up there. So that was on one side foresight, but on the other side probably a little bit overkill. So the way I'm going to solve that is I want to put a pond down there where I showed you, a little earthen dam, make a pond down there. And here we're building a porch on the front of the bathhouse. It's going to be a big covered porch. And from here down to there, I'm going to put a zip line. So you can come out of the banya, get on the zip line, fly down there, drop into the water, and then have motivation to run back up and get back into the bathhouse to get warm. So that is the plan. So this is us going into the bathhouse. So here it is, the great bathhouse of doom. It got right away really, really steamy on my camera, so I had to wipe the lens there. But the girls are helping stoke the stove, clean up the banya today. It's our turn. We do bathhouse twice a week here on the farm, Wednesdays and Saturdays. So today's Saturday. So today we'll be doing the banya. In about 30-40 minutes, it'll be ladies' banya from 4 o'clock to 7 p.m. And then from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., it's going to be men's banya. Significantly fewer men on the farm at the moment than women, so that works. So the banya has 3 rooms. Most banyas have 3 rooms, or good banyas have 3 rooms, but like 4 sections. We'll walk through the 3 that I have, the 3 rooms, and then talk about the 4th section in just a second. So this is the what we call the rest room, the room for resting, the tea room. So I've got my banya togas right here, my wraps for going in the banya. And this is a curtain. It's not necessary now because it's pretty warm outside, but in the winter it helps keep this door from getting completely iced over because of the condensation in here. This is our stove, wood-fired stove. Girls brought in some wood. They'll need to bring in some more before the ladies' banya starts. And then there's this door. Here, I'll close it real quick. This door. So we've got 2 washing machines here, stacked washing machines, because the other families on the farm also use the bathhouse, the banya, during the week to do laundry. But then we've got this fold-down table that we've got right here, and it's for, you know, if you're after banya, you can get some kvass, some Russian homemade, really, really lightweight beer. Kvass, I don't even know what it's called. It's so light, it shouldn't be considered beer. Or tea, or morse, which is like berry juice. And then we can sit here and rest and cool off. So as you can see, I haven't finished this. These walls are just rough-hewn timbers with lyon. What is lyon? Linen. It's from flax. What's left over from flax production. You put it in here, stuff it in there to chink it. So it's just rough-hewn timbers, chinked with flax. No cedar siding yet. That would be nice. Pine or cedar siding would be great, but haven't done that yet. So this is our thermometer right here. I can't see what I'm doing. Oh, there we go. So yeah, this is about right. This room will be about 20-30 degrees when it's up to temperature. So that'll be nice as a cool off area. So that's basically the rest area and the rest room. So you get undressed here, grab your toga, wrap up, and go into banya. So let's go into the washroom. They had a volunteer who made that for me. It says Justice's Banya. So here's the washroom. Kirsten washed the floor just recently. So there's your banya hats for doing banya. The hot water comes out of the hot water boiler in there. I'll show you that in a minute. And there's the wash basins and dipper cups. This room will be between 40 and 50 degrees, 45 degrees when it gets up. Right now it's right at 35, so it'll be up to 40 or up to 50 in this room. And this is what I'm talking about the dirty water, the murky water. This big tank, we filled this up from the creek, and it serves the family upstairs. It serves them as their water source for all the time. So we didn't want to put murky water in there because it's hard to clean these tubs. But so in order to have enough water for everyone to wash, the girls pumped water into these little kubataners, as we call them, 30-liter, what would that be, 8-gallon buckets. These buckets are all full of water, cold water that people will mix with hot water for using for washing. So this is the washroom. And it will be usually 35, 40, 45, maybe even as warm as 50 degrees Celsius in here. And then this room we usually keep closed when we're actually doing banya, when somebody's actually washing in here. But when you're heating the banya, you leave it open so that the heat from the hot room comes out into this area and heats the whole place kind of evenly. All right, so this is pretty warm in here already. And we have our normal stove. You saw the other side of that stove in the rest area room. And so we've got some rocks here for putting some water in, and we've got for birch branches, and we've got our hot water area here. So there's a pipe there that goes into the other room, as I already showed you, where we get our hot water. And so that just makes really, really hot water. Literally boiling. Once it gets up, it'll actually be just bubbling and boiling. And so then we have here is our thermometer. So it's already almost up to 80. It'll be up to 90 when we're done here, probably 90, 95 maybe. I like my banya between 85 and like 105. 90, 95 is right at the sweet spot. And the humidity here, you can see, is not that high. So it's all right. So there we go. That's what we have. I also have a banya timer in here for timing how long you're in banya, how long you're in the hot room. You know, so you work yourself up. 15 minutes is usually a good time to sit. But my little metal timer thing fell off last banya, so I need to glue that back on. I'll usually sit here on the lower benches, get nice and hot, and then sit on the top benches, and that's that.
Adara just announced the women's banya?
Adara just announced the women's banya?
Yeah, just now.
On the radio?
Yeah.
So we gotta go?
Yeah.
Alright. Did you stoke it up good?
Yeah.
Bring in some more wood so they have enough.
Okay.
So anyway, that's the banya, the bathhouse. If you're just trying to get washed up real quick, then it takes about 45 minutes to get sweaty and then, you know, cool off, and sweaty, then cool off, then wash off. If you're looking for actual experience, you're looking at about a 2-hour shift. But it's sweet. We like our banya and really glad we have one. And so that's that. Maybe sometime else I'll show you how we do the birch branches. I don't have any fresh birch branches here to do the beating thing. We're all out. It's actually in about a month, in about 4 or 5 weeks, we'll be collecting birch branches. Maybe like 6 weeks. Anyway, end of May, beginning of June, collecting birch branches for the banya. Maybe I'll show that at some point. So that is more or less the setup for the banya, the Russian bathhouse, at least how ours is. At the beginning of this video, I said there are 4 main sections, usually 3 rooms, but 4 sections to any good banya. So I'll walk you through those. Number 1 is комната отдыха, раздевалка, the rest area or undressing room. That's usually where you stoke the stove from. You put stack firewood in there. It's also got a table, some benches to relax, have some kvass, have some morse, berry juice, have some tea. Rebecca makes some ginger ale, a good ginger ale, so we'll have that sometimes. Room number 2 is the moika, the washroom. In our setup, we're set up for conserving water, so using the wash basins is really great. But if this was an American, Western style, I'd probably just have a shower set up there. We have a septic tank. Maybe you saw that on the outside of the banya. There was a manhole for that, so that's nice. That goes right into the septic. Our particular setup with the IBC tank in the corner, that 300-gallon tank in the corner, isn't the most efficient use of space. I want to put that tank under the floor eventually and put some more benches or something there in that corner. Maybe I'll show in the future what I want to do with that corner. But put that tank onto the floor. But anyway, that's the washroom area. And the third room is the parilka, the steam room, and that's kind of the heart of the banya. Get real nice and sweaty, go in there once and get warmed up, go in the second time and use the birch branches, go in the third time, use the birch branches again, and then go out into the 4th section. And now this usually in most banyas, in most Russian banyas, isn't an actual room. Some really luxurious banyas, expensive banyas will have a 4th room with like a little miniature swimming pool. That's a cold plunge for a cold plunge. But most Russians will use the great outdoors for that. Have an area outside where when it's snowy that you can jump in the snow. We do that when there is snow. Right now there's no snow, so no jumping. Or have a little pond for a cold plunge. As I showed you, that's what I want to. That's what I intend to do eventually with the zip line. Or have some kind of a little, again, a cold plunge basin outside. And I hope to build that either next to our porch or actually build it into the banya porch in the future to have a little place to plunge for a cold dip. After you get really hot, go out and jump in the cold. It feels really great. So again, that's all. And maybe I'll show you how we do the birch branches like I said, in the future. So signing out from Siberia. Gonna go have a nice banya here shortly.